Welcome to Hanging with Here to Zen, the genre-free music and lifestyle podcast presented by Here to Zen magazine. This is the place to come to celebrate all types of music, lifestyle, and more. We are glad you have come along for the ride, so sit back and enjoy the episode.
Hello.
Hey Mark, how's things, man?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm sure you are busy with a bunch of promo for a certain festival that you're heading our way for next week.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely slammed here in the studio, but yeah, all's good, man. All's good.
Excellent.
How are
So
things with you? All good?
it is great. I can't believe I'm going to say I'm seeing Slaughter in Australia. Actually, haven't seen you guys live since 1990 in the States.
Oh, wow. Where did you see us play at?
Spokane, Seattle, and Portland.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
so Northeast.
yeah, on the Hot in the Shade tour.
Wow. Crazy.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy when you think that that was 34 years ago and it seems like yesterday.
I can remember the shows really well.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
and as a longtime Kiss fan, Slaughter really made them up their game.
Thanks, man. Well, obviously, they've been doing it a million years and we learned a lot from those guys. So we're glad that they took us out and it was a great experience for us, that's for sure.
And again, you're finally coming here. So
Yeah.
what's the vibe like in the Slaughter camp?
Well, we're all really excited. I think it's kind of like putting a rock on an anthill. We're running around right now trying to get everything together for the trip, but we're really excited. This is groundbreaking for us and in our whole career. We've never been there. I've never been to Australia, nor has anybody else in our organization. So this is uncharted territory for us. And we met a lot of Australian fans over the years, and everybody's so kind and so nice. And so we're just really, really excited about it.
That's awesome. And you're going to have Jordan with you on drums. So for people that don't know,
Yes,
Slaughter,
Jordan's playing, and he's absolutely a phenomenal drummer. Blas is doing other projects and stuff. I know there's people have been asking if he's coming out, but he's got other things going on. And we're still tight with Blas. We love him, and
yep.
we're all brothers, and it's just everybody's just kind of doing what we do.
And that's the thing between him doing Trans-Siberian Blue Man Group. It's pretty hard to make schedules work. And
yeah, it is, especially it's hard to you can't just have a guy working at one point and then put another guy in, and at some point it's not fair to people. So I think we're all just at some point we'll do some shows with Blas, but right now Jordan is probably the most entertaining drummer I've seen in years. He's a young cat, and he does just such a phenomenal job. We've had the luck of having so many good drummers near us, whether it's from the Invasion with Bobby Rock or Blas, or it's just we're very blessed in that side.
excellent. So you said you're in the studio. What are you currently working on as a project?
Right now I'm working on a gentleman named Mark Farner, who's the singer-songwriter of Grand Funk Railroad. I'm finishing up his album right now. So we've been working on it for a couple of years, and he's off flying off dates. I'm doing dates, so it's taken us a little bit. And finally, we said, let's just get this done. So I'm doing some really long hours, and I'll probably even be working on it when I'm over there in Australia on my laptop, because we're just really trying to get it finished up for him.
And where does that leave the potential for any new music from you as a solo artist or Slaughter?
Well, I think once I finish that, I could put a fork in it, and then I can be done. And it's time for me to just then at that point it's either Slaughter or some solo material. I'm always going to do music because that's what I do. Um, and I love to produce. I love to be in the studio. This is my happy place. So if I'm not out on the road, this is ultimately what I love to do.
Do you still do much voiceover?
I haven't in a while. It's been a minute since I've done the cartoon thing, and I've been asked to do some music for some sports teams. I did some music for Fox Television here in the United States, and I don't know if it is filtrated over there, but it's just background music. You get paid on it. It's great music, great money, and I'm still being productive and getting my writing chops, so to speak.
Well, a lot of artists, like I know Eric from Warrant does a lot of TV work, and Fred Coury does a lot of TV work. So if it's there, why wouldn't you take it?
Well, it's work, and I like to work. I like to be productive. I think it's to really understand your craft, you have to continuously do it. It's not something I can't just be stagnant and do the same thing over and over and over. I mean, look, with Slaughter, we play the music that people know and love. We're not trying to cram down people's throats stuff that they don't want to hear. So it really is a lot of the Stick It To You record, a few things from Wildlife, etc. But we really stay true to the hits of what people listen to on Spotify or in streaming audio. We look at our statements and go, so here's the songs that people care about, and we play those songs as opposed to trying to do obscure songs that maybe 5 people in the audience. So, well, why didn't they play this deep cut? Well, we only have so much time to be able to fit it in, so we can't do it all.
Note to self: don't ask for "Hold On" from the Wildlife.
Oh, loved. You know what? Honestly, of all funny you should say that. That is probably Dana's most difficult bass
Yeah,
line of all time. That was really, when we recorded that was a very challenging bass part that he wrote on that. So
I'm not going to compare, but he's got a very Gene-like walking bass line in that one in parts.
yeah. I mean, it's probably from the same school. I mean, he, again, he liked Grand Funk and Dana like that. Dana has Sabbath influences as well as Paul McCartney. So
Yeah,
I think that there's a lot of the same people that influence it. And Gene is Gene. He does what he does. So all in all, yeah, I could see
yeah.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Some killer riffs in that song, dude. Just
Oh, I love it. I love it.
yeah,
That's a fun song. It's funny you should say that. We've never done that one live, but it's a fun song to to record. We had a blast doing it.
yeah. So I had a quick look at the set list that you've been playing in the States, and you also throw a couple of covers in, which is awesome. I think that it breaks up the set a little bit, and
Yeah, and people who don't know what the band, who we are and what we do, I think it just kind of says this is our, we bow to these artists and we like, this is what we like. We enjoy that. We
yeah,
enjoy that side of it. And again, it should be something of, music should be a celebration. It should be a time where everybody just has a good time and really enjoys themselves, you
yeah.
know.
Well, a lot of bands like Slaughter, Warrants, and artists like that play a lot of the same sort of circuit, like the casino circuit in the States. So
Right.
it's almost like people are passing through sometimes for those gigs. Like they're walking through from one part of the casino to the other and stop and see a gig. So a cover makes perfect sense because they might
Right.
then stop and go, "What am I seeing?"
Right. Well, the thing is it's entertainment, and I think that really what it boils down. Again, being from Las Vegas, you learn what entertainment is, and that's just to make people happy and let them celebrate and have them, something that they're gonna raise their glass to or sing along with. And the best way to doing that is to bring in the music that they know and love. So we don't run, again, we do Slaughter, probably 85% Slaughter stuff, but we'll throw a couple covers in there because that's what we do.
You speak about being from Vegas. Whenever you go back, are you shocked at how much Vegas has changed?
Vegas is nothing like I knew. When I was a kid, I called it Green Acres of Lights because it was just desert, and then there was just a little strip of area where there were lights, and other than that, it was all basically suburbia. So it is absolutely crazy on how much it's grown. I miss the simplicity of what I knew, but now it's turned into, I mean, the Super Bowl's there. I mean, anything that's of any importance in the industry of entertainment, whether sports or music, goes through Vegas at one time or another at this point.
We are about to send 4 of our rugby league teams there to play in the next week or two after the Super Bowl. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Um, you said that there is potential for Slaughter music down the track. Do you guys have much in the way of archive?
In archives, no. I mean, usually it's funny. We would write songs for a record, and we'd Stick It To You only took about 2.5 weeks to write, all in all. So even when we did that, it was kind of like we had the ideas or riff ideas, and we said, okay, that's a cool riff, or that's a cool idea. We'd do that, and then we just, we'd finish the song. And a lot of times with, lyrics are the last thing for me. It was always about the melody. You know, with my, guitar background and where I came from, it's always about the melody more importantly. And I would write the words to the melody or to the syncopation that I heard in my head, or Dana would do the same thing. And we would go write a quick demo. We'd drive off in our cars and we'd come back and I'd say, I have this. And he says, I have that. And we take the best of the two or the combination of, and that's how we would come up with the melody of the songs. Then we'd write lyrics to it.
Awesome. Now, speaking of, the first album, it's a misconception that Eric Carr, discovered Slaughter. Slaughter, you'd already had your key man clause from the Invasion. You were already recording, and Eric just happened to get an advance and put it into the hands of Gene and Paul. While that was important,
Correct.
I still think Slaughter would have broken without.
I think it would have broken, but the truth of the matter is Kiss helped us in that side. There was a synergy from the fact that Vinnie was from Kiss, and the fact that the music was like-minded like Kiss. I mean, Kiss music is a good time. I mean, you go to a Kiss concert to really enjoy yourself and be entertained. And Slaughter is pretty much of the same mindset, which is just, straight ahead rock and roll. We're not trying to reinvent it. We're just making music how we like to make music. But, Eric was very instrumental of getting it to Gene, and they liked the record. There was success that they saw happening with the record, and they thought this makes complete sense. So we ended up in the opening slot, and as it went on, we went to the middle slot next to Kiss, and again, it was a great opportunity for us, and I think it worked good for them at that time.
Yeah.
And everybody won. And that's the key. Again, it's about the show as a total and not just the individuals. And that's really what I think both of us really understand, is it's really about putting on an entire show instead of just one band.
Now, I've got to ask one more Kiss question. I've seen you tell this story, but people may not have heard it. And you actually do it in a great Gene voice, which is awesome. But apparently on the Hot in the Shade tour, you would go side stage and contribute backing vocals when they weren't looking.
Right.
And
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. And Paul was always good with it. And Gene was like, he had the whole thing of, listen, you want to sing background vocals, you're always welcome to come sing with Kiss. And Paul was just the same. I mean, it was wonderful to have them as friends in that side of it. And that was a good part of it. I still applaud them in the fact of how many years that they did it. And, there's some people, there was all the talk and, I don't know if Paul's doing this, and I don't know. I said, you know what, man, you go up there, whether he's singing or not, and you go run around on stage with those shoes and that guitar, and you do that at his age, there's no way. Paul he's a rock star,
As someone that saw
Period.
them way too many times, which is great,
Yeah.
and took photos of them a lot. I say to people, if you go to see Kiss expecting Pavarotti, you're in the wrong arena. If you
Right.
want to see shit get blown up, you're in the right place.
Right. And again, it's the party.
Yeah,
They brought the party to it. They brought the circus to town
yeah,
ultimately. And again, by osmosis, just the same. I mean, we learned from them. We learned from Ozzy Osbourne. We learned from Alice Cooper and all these bands that we've toured and opened up for over the years. You learn certain aspects of the business of what works and what we love, and that is exactly what we're seeing.
yeah.
you know Even now, that's when people come see the band. It's like we don't just stand there and stare at our shoes. I mean, our whole thing is that's all of us. It's us with the crowd. It's not just us and look at what we do.
Yeah.
We want everybody involved. We want to have a good time. We want everybody to have the same fun that we're having.
Speaking of fun, let's go all the way back to excursion days. Is there plans to
Oh, wow.
get that music out at all as a re-release?
It's funny. I ran into It's so funny you're saying this, because literally our last show that we did, which is in Vegas, I saw Anthony, the original drummer, and Kelly Garney, who was a bass player in the middle interim of Excursion before we broke up. Kelly, we did a record together. So it was Kelly Garney, who is from Quiet Riot, from with Randy Rhoads, and so it was Kelly, Anthony, and myself, and we have a record that we never released. So I said to these guys, I said, well, we're going to have to. Everybody's got to pull their tapes together. Let me bring it into my studio. Let me see if I can try to separate some of the tracks, and let's try to re-release it. So that's one that's not out there that we want the fans to hear, but it's almost an impossibility to do it, but I want to do it. I said to the guys, I said, it's art that nobody's heard. And I think we're going to throw that out there at some point.
That's fantastic. The only other
Yeah,
thing
it's pretty exciting.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see the Slaughter home video get the retreatment for digital at some point too.
Well, we're actually working on a biopic right now. And after we do this, in Australia, we have about 4 more dates. And then we do the Monsters of Rock cruise with another show in Tulsa. And then we have a minute. And I think we're really going to focus in on trying to get a whole biopic together. So it's like going back into when we were on tour with Kiss or with Ozzy and different artists, and put a whole thing together of what that was, with new footage, and kind of reflecting back to where we came from. Because at this point, the band has been together, 34 years.
Yeah.
And it's time to kind of tell a little bit of the story and get it out there and let people understand, what Slaughter's about, what we continue to do, and our message and our hope for all music and humanity.
That would be great. Or I only have one request for that biopic, is that you use the Metallica "Nothing Else Matters" clip as a basis and put Vinnie Vincent on the dartboard, not Kit Winger.
Exactly. Well, listen, everybody's wired different, and he's certainly wired different. We wish him well, and we're doing what we do, and
we hope he finds a good electrician for those wires.
Yeah, I think Gene would be a lot more colorful in his reply to this, but I mean, that's the kindest way I can put it. And I think that I'm blessed to have the stepping stone I did, and I love the record I did back in VVI.
Yep.
But more importantly, we're sitting on 34 years of success.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with that really, except for the things that came after, which honestly was touring with Kiss and was touring with Ozzy Osbourne, and then all the years that we've been just doing what we love to do, which is playing music, writing music, and entertaining people from one coast to the other. And finally, here we go into Australia. I mean, it's long overdue.
What's the one song you never get sick of playing live?
Fly the Angels, Up All Night. I mean, the hits. I mean, I'm not going to run from it. Those
Yep.
are those are the same time stamps that, music is like an hourglass. You flip it upside down and the sands of time start going, and it brings back all these memories. And every time you flip that hourglass, there's different memories and there's different feelings. And I think that the beauty of it is not only is it an hourglass for us, but it is an hourglass for all of those who listen to it, that remember where they were when they heard this song, or what party they were at, or rolling down the highway, or whatever it might be. That's the beauty of music, is it takes you back to that. Nothing else does that except for the sense of smell, to go, oh yeah, that's it. That's what I'm looking for.
Awesome, Mark. I'm going to let you go. You got a shit ton of interviews to do today. But before I
Yeah,
let you
yeah.
go, straight down the barrel, give us the hard sell on Glamfest.
Glamfest. Here's the hard sell. Hard sell is the first time that we've ever been to your fabulous country, and we are so excited. We're just all elated because it's long overdue. And if you want to have a good time, that's what this is all about. That's what all these bands are about. And so come on down, see us, and we'll make you smile. Let's have some fun.
See you in a week, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you.